Coach, just with Keenan kind of, where he stands going into this game. I know he's good at kind of deflecting to the team, but how has he really maintained his composure with the record?
Well, he's just being himself. He's a composed kid. He's a really level-headed kid. I don't think he's been doing anything different. That's who he is. He's a very competitive young man, and that hasn't changed, but he's just focused on the task at hand.
And I know he's a very unselfish player, and that's been talked about as maybe hindering him at points. How would you say his confidence has really built as he's been a player here?
He was confident when he first came as a freshman. But, you can't be a good player and not have any confidence. But it can't be arrogance, and he's not an arrogant young man. He's a confident young man, but he's not arrogant. And the way he demonstrates that, he comes to work every day. And his work ethic hasn't changed from a freshman to a senior. He continues to work hard every day.
And the talk is about, what he does well. What is he really working to improve on right now?
Well, continue to, get us in the right play. He's become really good at that, and, he's an extension of Coach Jasper and our game plan and, what Coach Jasper wants to get done. And he's done a really good job of getting us in the right play, and he needs to continue to do that the rest of the season.
Where is he stand with his recovery from his injury?
He's doing well. I think he's, you'd have to ask him, but I think he's, had a good week of practice, had a couple good days of practice. He looks good, and, hopefully he's 100% on Saturday.
So many years as an independent, joining the conference and just really getting off to a great start this season. What are your thoughts about that? It's
only half the year. We got a long ways to go. It's not time to reflect on. We just continue to keep grinding and just keep working hard.
And Tulane, what are the main focuses getting prepared for them?
Well, they're a very athletic team. Their defensive front is as good as we've seen. Coach Johnson is a good coach. CJ is a good coach. I know they're just trying to get on track, and we better be ready to go. We're still the Naval Academy. We can't overlook anybody, for their record or anything. We're still the Naval Academy. We're smaller than everybody else, and so we got to be prepared for this football game.
Hey, Coach, I was going to ask you about your son committing to Boise. What do you think of that?
Well, it's exciting. As a father, just, you always, your kids are your prized possession. So, to see the success he's had in high school, very happy for him, and, hope he does well.
What's it like to be on the other side of that recruiting deal?
It's interesting. I've been on the other side even, when my daughter was a lacrosse player, went to Maryland. So it's always interesting to hear what coaches have to say. And really my wife and I have just been parents. We try to give them advice. We try to give my son advice, but it's been his choice. We try to give him some guidance, but ultimately it was going to be his choice, and I think he made a good choice.
With two kids playing on the West Coast, have you even been able to see Vaha play in person at BYU?
No, I haven't, and I think my wife will probably be moving out west.
I was going to say, you'll be lonely, won't you?
I'll probably have to get a room above, I don't know, maybe they have some downtown that give me a bed and breakfast place downtown.
Have to coordinate that with the school.
Mark Meyer suffered a season-ending injury. I hadn't noticed that until the other day. How tough is that? That's a third senior with Shelley White and Quazell that's going to lose his senior year.
Well, it's been really tough, but to see them all out here, Shelley's out here, Quazell's out here, Mark's out here, shows you the quality, the character of these kids. Most guys would have said, forget it, I'm out of here, and they come out here and help the other guys. Quazell's pushing around his little scooter, and so it just shows you the quality of the kids here. Just, they're not worried about themselves, they're still trying to help their teammates.
I'm going to be doing an update on Coach Green. Have you seen a lot of him? Have you been able to talk to him much? I know it's the season and you're very busy, but has he been around?
He's always around. Coach Green never leaves a place. He's still here, still doing his breakdowns, off the field, still giving some of his reports to myself, Coach Jasper, and, Dale. So not only is he breaking down defensive stuff, he's helping out the offense. So he's a football junkie. Coach Green's always around.
And does it appear he's on target to rejoin the staff next year?
Well, he's still trying to get healthy, and so he's still having some tests and stuff, and that we'll worry about that later. But right now, just make sure he gets healthy.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Hey, guys.
Gonna have you take us back here for a second. Thinking back to your days as a kid in Tennessee, how do you compare where you are now to what you envisioned then?
That's a toughie. As a kid, you always dream about playing at the highest level, and always dreamed about playing college football, playing the biggest stage. And I feel like being in the Navy, I've had the opportunity to do that.
And I know that you have learned a lot from your head coach in terms of being a leader. How have you felt you've really developed on the field leading the other guys?
Just speaking up, taking charge of the huddle, taking charge of the guys on the field. And it really is more off the field than anything, because if they don't respect you off the field, they're not going to respect you on the field. So, trying to be more vocal off the field, really caring about the guys, with being engaged in their lives, hanging out, not doing football stuff all the time, just hanging out, going out. So I think that all that affects leadership, and then also humility, despite, everything that I've been blessed to receive, just staying true to myself and who I was, from day one. And the guys see that, and they also respect that as well.
And you're known for that humility, deflecting kind of towards the team and what the team goals are. But when you take a moment to reflect on what you've done in this record and the potential next record, what thoughts go through your mind?
I'm just gratefulness. I'm grateful, I'm excited, honored, and blessed to be where I am. And like you said, deflecting the praise, because that's where it needs to be. It takes 11 guys to make a play go. So all of these things are results of the guys around me. I'm just a product of my environment.
And you said before that you feel like you can achieve anything. What is that anything that's next for you?
I don't know. We'll have to see. I can't really say right now.
I was going to ask you how the knee's feeling, or the leg, or whatever it is.
Great. Today was actually the best day that I felt running around. So I'm just continue to treat it, continue to rehab it, and I'll be ready to go on Saturday.
Do you expect to wear a brace in the game?
No.
No?
Not going back to the brace days.
Right. Do you think it's not going to be a situation like last year where you're playing not full 100% go?
No, if I didn't feel like I could be full speed, then I would let the coaches know and, go from there. But, I felt good running around out here. It's not the same as last year. Last year was last year. Just rehabbing it and getting it ready to go.
And why haven't you scored a rushing touchdown in 2 games?
I don't know. I guess 'cause I could get tackled on the 1-yard line, maybe.
I know. You're starting to turn into Chris Swain now. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, why don't you kind of give us a quick rundown on what you expect to see out of Tulane?
Very athletic, a lot of good skill kids. They've struggled a little bit with the quarterback getting hurt, and I guess the backup got hurt also last week, got banged up. I don't know how hurt he is. So they're kind of finding their identity, but they're very talented skill-wise.
What quarterback do you you got to prepare for 3 of them, you're saying?
Well, they don't change too much. A couple of them run better than the other one. The other one passes a little better. So you got to get ready for their offense. So we've just been preparing like we would if whoever was the quarterback.
You mostly a passing team, in your opinion?
I think they've been passing because they get behind fairly early. I think they would like to be more balanced than maybe they are. I don't know that, but I'm assuming they would. Early in games, they run the ball a lot more against Houston. They came out and ran it, I think, the first 3 plays. So, I think they would like to run the ball, but if you get behind it, sometimes you got to catch up by throwing it. So,
I'm going to do a little update on Buddy. Have you been able to communicating him with him much? Coach just told me he's been in the office quite a bit. And
yeah, every
doing
day.
His breakdowns.
Yeah, every day. I wish he wouldn't, but he is. Yeah, he's a hard guy to have a rest. So, we talk to him. I talk to him every single day.
Has he been helpful?
Yeah, he's given us some things. He watches tape just like he always has, and he gives us some write-ups and, kind of what he's thinking when he watches them. So, yeah, it's been helpful.
I mean, obviously it's to be determined how things have progressed with his health, but if he comes back and reassumes the D coordinator duties, is that, going to be an awkward situation with you having had that role all season?
I don't think so. I mean, friendship comes before coaching. So, I mean, whatever happens, happens.
Right.
Just trying to win games more for the kids than for my reputation. I mean, I am who I am, so I'm fine whatever way it goes.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.